What's up guys, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I am telling about for this coin 10 sentimez, milieu 1988, France historical context, design, minting process, economic relevance, and its role in French numismatic heritage. History of the 10 centimes coin, 1988. France. The 10 centimes coin minted in 1988 in France is part of the country's extensive numismatic legacy and provides a rich lens into the late 20th century economic, political, and cultural milieu of the Fifth Republic. Small in size, yet vast in symbolism, this coin bridges centuries of French monetary tradition while embodying the principles of liberty, fraternity, and equality. Understanding this coin involves exploring its design elements, the socio-political environment in which it was issued, the economic reforms of France during the 1980s, and the broader transition towards the euro. French currency evolution. In the role of centimes, the term centime comes from Latin centum, meaning 100. It refers to 1/100th of a French franc. The franc has deep roots in French history dating back to the late Middle Ages. The decimalization of the currency was formalized during the French Revolution in 1795, when the franc was reintroduced as the national currency, divided into 100 centimes. By the 20th century, the centime had become an integral part of daily commerce. Coins like the 10 centimes were essential for small transactions, buying a newspaper, paying for a baguette, or making change in the café culture of France. Over the decades, various versions of the 10 centimes coin were issued with changes in design, weight, and metallic composition, reflecting both economic and artistic shifts. Post-war economic context and currency reform. After World War II, France went through significant economic rebuilding. In 1960, the nouveau franc was introduced by Charles de Gaulle's government. The old franc had suffered significant inflation, and one new franc was equivalent to 100 old francs. This reform streamlined accounting and symbolized France's renewed financial stability. The 10 centimes coin, issued in 1988, was denominated in the new franc and had become a widely circulated low-value coin. It was a practical denomination in a time when inflation had not yet severely eroded its purchasing power, though it was beginning to do so by the late 1980s. Design and symbolism. The 10 centimes coin of 1988 follows the classic design used from 1962 onwards. This version was designed by Laurent Schwartz, a celebrated French engraver. Liberty head. The obverse features the head of Marianne, the national symbol of the French Republic. Marianne personifies liberty and reason, and she wears the cap, a revolutionary symbol dating back to ancient Rome and widely used during the French Revolution. Inscription. Around her are the words Republic, Francaise, emphasizing national pride and identity. Marianne on this coin is depicted in a calm yet resolute demeanor, symbolizing the stability and democratic values of the Republic. Wheat, olive branch, and oak. These elements symbolize abundance, peace, and strength, respectively. The wheat represents agricultural prosperity, the olive branch peace, and the oak durability and endurance. Inscription. The words liberté, égalité, fraternité, liberty, equality, fraternity wrap around the top of the coin. France's official national motto since the revolution. Numerical denomination, 10 centimes, is prominently displayed in the center. Date, 1988, appears beneath the denomination. Mint mark and engraver's marks, located near the date. These small symbols indicate the mint, where the coin was struck, and the engraver. Responsible metal composition and physical characteristics. The 1988 10 cent coin was minted using a cost-effective and corrosion-resistant alloy. This alloy also offered a pleasant golden hue, giving the coin a valuable appearance despite its low denomination diameter. 20 mm weight, 3.04 grams thickness, approximately 1.41 mm edge. Smooth plain composition, 92% copper, 6% aluminum, 2% nickel. This composition was chosen to balance durability, economy, and ease of minting. The coin's relatively lightweight and corrosion resistance made it ideal for everyday use in a bustling post-industrial society. The Monnaie de Paris and minting. The Monnaie de Paris Paris Mint, one of the oldest continuously operating mints in the world, was responsible for producing the 1988 10 centimes coin. Founded in 864 AD, the mint has been at the heart of French coinage for centuries. During the 1980s, modern minting technologies had been adopted, including high-speed presses and automated quality controls. The mint issued millions of 10 cent coins annually to keep up with demand in retail and public transactions. The minting quantity in 1988 was substantial, reflecting both population growth and economic activity. However, inflation and the declining value of small denominations meant that their usage would soon wane. Socioeconomic environment of France in 1988, government and politics in 1988. François Mitterrand was re-elected for a second term as president of France. His presidency was marked by a blend of socialist reforms and gradual liberalization. The French economy was in a phase of transformation, moving away from state-controlled industries to more market-driven policies. Economic conditions. France was recovering from the economic shocks of the 1970s and early 1980s. Unemployment and inflation were key challenges, though by 1988, inflation had been somewhat stabilized. However, the value of small denomination coins like the 10 centimes continued to erode. Still, coins were an integral part of daily life. Prices for bus fares, bread, newspapers, and public telephones often required exact change, reinforcing the utility of coins like the 10 decline and phase out by the 1990s. Inflation and rising production costs rendered many low-value coins economically inefficient. Though the 10 centimes coin continued circulating into the 1990s, its relevance steadily declined. The introduction of the euro in 1999 as an accounting currency and in 2002 as physical currency marked the official end for French franc coins in daily transactions. On January 1, 2002, the euro became the sole legal tender in France, and the 10 centimes franc coin was withdrawn from circulation. However, it could still be exchanged at the Banque de France until February 17, 2005. Cultural and collectible value, despite its small denomination. The 1988 10 centimes coin has become a collector's item and a symbolic artifact. It is valued today by numismatists for several reasons: design continuity. It belongs to the longest-running French coin series 1962 to 2001, with consistent design. Political symbolism. It features Marianne, linking it to the values of the French Republic. Transitional artifact. As a coin issued just over a decade before the transition to the euro, it holds historic interest. Accessibility. It is common enough to be collected affordably, appealing to amateur collectors and historians alike. Coins in uncirculated or proof condition may have slightly higher numismatic value, though most circulated examples are worth face value or slightly more depending on condition. The 10 centimes in comparison to the euro. Interestingly, the euro also has a 10-cent denomination, allowing for a point of continuity in coinage. However, the euro's 10-cent coin is larger, more valuable, and part of a multinational monetary system. Where the 1988 French 10 centimes was purely national, the euro version serves across 20 countries. The 1988 coin thus represents the end of an era distinctly national currency, rooted in French revolutionary values, tied to local culture and daily life. In contrast, the euro is emblematic of European integration, cooperation, and globalization numismatic legacy. The 10 centimes coin minted in 1988 represents not only a monetary instrument but a snapshot of a transitional France between nationalism and Europeanism, between socialism and capitalism, and between analog and digital economies. Its modest size belies its rich cultural symbolism. Through its design, material, and circulation, the coin tells a story of resilience, transformation, and identity. It connects the revolutionary heritage of France with the realities of the late 20th century. The 1988 10 centimes French coin, though now obsolete in economic terms, endures as a powerful historical and cultural artifact. It reminds us of a time when money was tangible, when Marianne stood proud on pocket change, and when national symbols were embedded in daily commerce. From its artistic design to its role in society, the coin exemplifies the fusion of form, function, and meaning in numismatic history. As collectors, historians, or simply admirers of the past, we can look to coins like the 10 centimes of 1988 as portals into the values, struggles, and identity of the French people. Its legacy is one, not just of metal, but of memory.